Hey guys, it is November 2nd, and I want to talk to everyone here why I don't personally care a lot about these US elections coming up, and why I don't think it should have a lot of importance for most MGTOW guys here that come from the US, or guys from any place in the world. Okay, I know a lot of my subscribers here come from the US, and they certainly have voted in the elections, or maybe haven't. MGTOW guys, of course, are across the spectrum, but I think tend to be a little more libertarian, generally speaking. I think these elections are interesting, like any election would be. I don't find it quite as exciting though as the last one. I think the whole Trump, the first time around in 2016, that was epic, honestly. That was like, seriously shocked me when I found the results of that election. I just couldn't believe it, honestly, when he pulled that upset, and it was just kind of a change to the current administration at that time. Regardless of what people think of how Trump's performed as a president, of course it's still a very important role, and president of the USA is a huge figure in the world. I live here in Estonia, I lived in Chile, I lived in Russia, and no matter the country you live in, the president of the US is very well known in most of the world. The people will know who this guy is. It's not the same in many countries. Here in Estonia, most people wouldn't even know who the Estonian president is. If they saw her walking in the streets of Manhattan, probably wouldn't even know she was the president of Estonia. Perhaps the Russian president Putin, more people would probably recognize him. Typically, apart from the global powers, people don't recognize presidents from other places. Going back though to the elections here, is that it doesn't matter whether the Republican or Democrats win, because as a guy, as a MGTOW guy, it's not about putting your weight and trust in a political system here. Of course, the political system is going to have an influence and impact on your life. One particular area for us people from the US is taxes. This is a big issue. This is something that I think is just progressively getting worse and worse. And this absolutely, the person who's the president will have quite a bit of impact on current tax situation. But other aspects of your life, I don't think you should be as concerned about. You can still dictate your life as much as you can, pending that you're living in a mindset where you take responsibility and ownership for your actions. And truthfully, I would say about 95% of your life, it's about you and taking ownership for what you do, what you accomplish, and how you lead your life. At the end of the day, you can't really blame the president for almost anything, apart from minor things, like I said, the tax problem, or maybe guys who are in the military who have to go into a combat zone or something that didn't anticipate going into combat. But apart from this, I mean, I wouldn't really think about this. The administration, whoever comes into place, comes into place. You can vote for who you support, who you endorse. But like I said, as us MGTOW guys, it's important, but it's not important in the sense that it's not dictating your life. You still have most of the choices to make that you would like to make. If you think that there's something wrong with the administration of the US, you could firstly try run for office if you're able to gain a lot of influence. Secondly, is you could leave the US and relocate like I did, just find a different country or countries and resettle. You could also renounce citizenship eventually if you have things set up in your life well. There's different options you have, and fortunately, even as US citizens, we still have some rights today, and we can still exercise some of these rights. And you certainly, as a MGTOW guy, probably have a little more freedom with aspects of your life than the average guy out there in US. Don't feel bad whoever wins. This is something else. I know many people were very, very worried and frantic when President Trump won in the last elections, and I know other guys were extremely excited. It was across the board. Where I used to work at UPS, many of the guys actually supported President Trump in that election. Now, many of those same guys 8 years before, and definitely like 20 years before, many of the same guys that voted for former President Clinton, the Democrats. So it's interesting with these elections how the emotions kind of shift people's opinions toward different candidates, and they may swing from one side to the other and maybe back to the other side again. Don't let your emotions get the most of you. There's going to be probably people that are really mad, other people are going to be really happy, whoever wins. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter, honestly. I mean, just live your life how you want to live it. It's important to understand here that this isn't North Korea. These people don't totally dictate your lives, and you still have some liberties to make choices that you find suitable. Just go out. If you want to vote, or if you already did vote, hopefully your candidate wins the election. And like I said, the sun will probably rise the day after the elections, and whoever wins, but just make the most of your life and what you can do. So give me your feedback below, and thank you.